gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Nürburgring. We're going to burger all the nerds. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is the only reclusiarch for the Tau, Michael Magus.
Oh, reclusiarch for the Tau. Very deep cut. Very deep cut.
Oh, that's a...
Indeed. We are here at Nürburgring for... Let me just verify what round number this is.
Oh, baby, I
Round
like
4.
it raw.
Round 4 of the
Ding.
3D Speed Championship, which has been dominated so far by Max Simmons. He leads the way with a perfect score of 135 points. And
Perfect.
Looks like he is the fastest guy on the day. Dan French is in second place on 88 points, Marcel Letelier on 78, and Aaron Alexander on 75. In the team's championship, it's Overclocked Racing, HPD. That's Max Simmons and Zach Martin, the two Hondas in the field. That's their team. In second place is WRT Motorsports, which is Sands lead driver Paul Riccobetti today. That's the Audi crew of Michael Magus and Oscar Tan. And then 905 Racers, that is Dan French and Robert Arzumian in the Ferraris that are currently in third place. And in the Silver Championship, all of these drivers are within 9 points of each other. So get ready for this. Wayne Hutchison, Michael Magus, Jeremy Reeder, Connor Costantini, Oscar Tan, and Simeon Neku. All within 9 points of the Silver Cup. And then in the Bronze Cup, it is Mark Sobalski just absolutely taking it to everybody and breaking your back.
I need that for my work.
You need that for your research purposes.
Indeed.
And right now we are rounding up qualifying here with Max Simmons on pole ahead of Marcel Letelier, Aaron Alexander, and newcomer to the field, but not newcomer to ESR, Anthony Willis. We've seen him in the Sunday series, and it looks like he really brought it this time in that Nissan because we don't usually see him up at the front, and he's looking like he's going to start from P4 here.
I gotta say that these look like some really, really weird looking VW bugs.
They are not VW bugs. That
would be why.
That would be why. Michael Magus and Jeremy Reeder on row 3. Aaron Alexander popping up into second place there right at the end of the session. Reeder's still out there, as is Zach Martin, who's in 7th place, and Dan French, who's in 9th place, so we can still see some jumbling up here. We got Martin, Tan, French, Sobalski, Costantini, and Waz rounding off the field right now. But only 11th and 12th place are locked in because they are both finished. Jeremy Reeder finally bringing the right livery to the field today. Bringing the Windward Mercedes out to play. Sponsored by Tekime.
Warriors! Come out and play.
I actually saw the video of like the 50th year anniversary or whatever of that movie. And most of the surviving actors of the Warriors actually took the subway train that they took in the movie.
And they barely had to fight anybody this time.
They had to fight nobody. They just had a couple of fans who recognized them and like gave them shook their hands. And, yeah, it was pretty cool.
And then they fought them.
James Raymar did not show up because he has better things to do with his time.
I mean, you're not wrong.
He's the only one that kind of really developed what you would call a career after that movie.
Yeah. He was in that one movie where that guy stood next to that thing and then he yelled medic.
I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
Starship Troopers.
Oh, okay. Was he? I don't think he was in that.
Yeah.
Was he?
Medic! Put your hand up there, son.
Well, that was Clancy Brown.
All right, my bad. Have they ever done a movie where they were brothers or something? Because they should.
They should, but I can't think of a movie they were both in.
No. Seems like a waste of that. They should do like some like a comedy, like in the tradition of Grumpy Old Men or Secondhand Lions, where it's like two old dudes who've been around a lot and seen a lot of stuff, and something happens. It's really really well-defined plot. I'm workshopping into a few studios.
It's a work in progress.
Indeed.
I was gonna say I would be very disappointed if James Raymar was in Starship Troopers and I did not remember it.
Yeah, you're right. SpongeBob, the guy from SpongeBob was in Starship Troopers.
The great Clancy Brown. Always a good way to sell me on something. Clancy Brown is in it. It works. It works.
Clancy Too Fancy Brown.
He's really not in anything that I don't enjoy.
That is correct. What movie? There's a movie that I can see James Remar in, and I can hear him say a particular line, and I don't know what movie it is.
As much as I normally can figure out where your brain is wavelength is, I don't think I'm going to be able to figure that out.
No, like it's
off of what you gave me here.
And the line is something really weird, like he's caught off guard, and he's like, "Well, tell him to stop touching my thing," or like something like that.
I don't recall.
I'm gonna look him up.
As we work our way through here, the NGK chicane, and make our way to the start finish line.
James Twisted Steel Rebar.
A lot of congestion coming off of this last turn here. Hopefully the drivers close it up and we get ourselves a clean start. Seems a little too far ahead, but we are green and we are headed down to turn 1, which can often be a bit of a hazard around these parts. Nürburgring has a relatively famous turn, and contact in the mid-pack.
Oh boy!
Michael Magus, Mark Sobalski spinning around Anthony Willis. Also off the track, I believe, is Jeremy Reeder in the Mercedes. Willis rejoining. Not sure. I'm not sure that 10th place is accurate. I think he's at the back of the pack. A little bit of floor damage there, possibly. And a really good qualifying effort by Willis, coming to a little bit to naught. And actually finds himself behind both the other bronze cars of Woz and Sobalski, the Polish attack squad.
Okay, so the line I'm thinking about is either from Too Fast, Too Furious or Blade Trinity. I don't remember which one. I'm gonna go with Too Fast, Too Furious. That's one I've seen.
I've seen both those movies, and I don't recall that line in here. As Sobalski goes wide there in the Lexus, and through goes the Nissan of Anthony Willis into 11th place. Max Simmons has retained the lead from Marcel Letelier. Zach Martin is up in the 3rd place, followed by Aaron Alexander, Oscar Tan, and Michael Magus. Then Dan French, Thomas Waz, Connor Costantini, Jeremy Reeder, and then the aforementioned battle of Willis and Sobalski. But things are getting fanned out once again here through the back portion of this track. Sobalski on the tail, and that is Connor Costantini in the other Lexus getting a little out of shape through the NGK chicane, and it's spin around for Costantini. Into the pit lane he goes. Contact between Woz and Reeder as well through the Coca-Cola curve. Opens the door for Anthony Willis to take that spot. I have lost my co-commentary partner. My partner in crime has failed us. Whoa. Very close in behind there as Tom Woz defends against 3 different cars here. Sobalski, Willis, and Reeder all eager to get past him. Woz did qualify quite off the pace, so he is towards the back. Willis gets through. Reeder trying to get through here off of the Mercedes Arena. Into the Ford curve. I believe that one's the Ford curve anyways. And the Bentley still holds against the Lexus and the Mercedes. And in fact, the Lexus of Sobalski has gotten past Reeder. It does look like that Bentley is very much driving him, though. And Byron has returned.
Yeah, my apologies. My internet connection's been kind of sketch for the last 2 weeks, and I don't know why, and it doesn't seem to have a proper day or time of the day to be sketch.
Reeder
and
Sobalski both making their way past the car of Tom Woz, who is now down to 11th position. Are you still with us on the YouTube, or?
Well, I mean, it did pause for a little bit, so I don't know exactly where you
Okay,
are.
so Byron will be a couple of seconds late on any reactions, but I think we can plow through.
Probably. I'm at 22:45.
Yeah, about 15 seconds.
There you go.
Another lap is completed here, as I don't know why the camera is stuck on Tom Laws. There was some good stuff happening around Tom Laws, but now he's kind of drifting back. And I see a lot of close gaps up ahead, so I'd like to see what's going on in the top 10. At the very least, I'd like to see the continuing battle of Jeremy Reeder and Mark Sabalski, although Reeder has actually seemingly gotten clear there. Aaron Alexander running in third place. He's overtaken Zach Martin at some point there. Martin in the background.
I think I've managed to sync up somewhat.
There we go.
I might actually be a second or two
There we
ahead of
go.
you now.
Aaron Alexander holding off Zach Martin. And in the background, you also have Oscar Tan in the Audi.
Oscar Nunde. Is that Mega Skid?
Running.
I hear he can
Running
race.
in sixth place. In the I don't have the McDonald's logo on my car this time.
Well done.
Indeed.
So it's just Gulf oil. It's not Gulf oil that we used to cook the nuggets.
It's Gulf oil plus the Rafco sponsorship.
Gross. It'll have to do.
But yeah, the sprint car does not have the McDonald's logo on it. The endurance car does, which is somewhat ironic because I feel like if anything, the sprint car should have the McDonald's logo on it.
Yeah. Because that stuff makes you run really fast.
It's Dan French, the second place man in the championship right now, chasing in the Ferrari, the Iron Lynx Ferrari for the 905 Racer crew. Just the one car today for 905. No Robert Arzumanian.
I can't help it. Every time you say 905, that's all I can think of is the homie that used to hang out with
Sean
us.
Smith.
He was from the 905.
The most generic named person of all time.
Correct.
And he created the most generic fighter of all time in the MMA set, actually.
Correct.
He's like, so basically, I've taken some Muay Thai, some kickboxing, I wrestled in high school, I've taken some jiu-jitsu. I'm like, so you're everything. I was like, yeah. But not like super great at anything. Correct. So Sean Smith, most generic fighter of all time. Gotcha.
Shouldn't that in the simulator give him just a bit of a bump? Like every time you reset the sim, shouldn't he get a bit of a, oh, I've got a background and all this stuff, so he should at least get a lot better quicker?
He does tend to improve a reasonable amount. He does well. He does well. He's repetitively a guy who'll get up to like 11 or 12 and 1.
What if I was to propose to you that he gets better at an unreasonable amount?
Well, that would probably not be all that fun, because then he would just outstrip all the potential opponents.
You're probably right.
But if you're not a striker, he can strike with you. If you're not a wrestler, he can out-wrestle you. If you're not a grappler, he'll probably submit you.
And if you look like a weasel, he might use you like a toothbrush.
Well, if you look like a weasel, you might offer him the ability to backstab your team leader and make fun of your nut allergy at the same time.
Fair enough. I don't know what that's reference to.
Stan Edgar's character in Black Noir's head is a weasel.
Weasel. I forgot about that.
Would everybody be on board with removing it? It's like, but are you sure about taking out Soldier 4? Yes, Dr. Vogelbaum has a solution to the problem. Could you stop eating those almonds right near me? I do have a deep allergy to tree nuts. Just keeps eating the almonds.
Nut.
I will say they knocked it out of the park with the young Giancarlo Esposito casting there when they were in Nicaragua.
Yeah, that is true.
Very good. And the young Grace Mallory as well. I would say the name of the actress who plays Grace Mallory, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. I know I should know her.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But the name's not in my brain. As Mark Sabalski continues to hang on to 9th place against Jeremy Reeder. Reeder is usually a little bit faster than Sabalski, obviously silver rated versus bronze rated, but don't let the bronze rating fool you. Mark Sabalski's been making great strides with his pace lately. It's just a matter of him kind of putting everything together, and I think the results will flow from that as they head through the Dunlop hairpin. You can see that Lexus has seen better days, of course. It was involved in some heavy contact at turn 1. And the hood is vibrating fiercely. In fact, I'm not sure why he doesn't go into the pits as Reeder does make his way through and get that fixed, because, of course, we do have a mandatory pit stop here, but there is no pit window in the 3D Speed Series. So you can pit any time and clear that. He could fix the car up, and I imagine it's costing him some time.
Remember, kids, pit early and pit often.
No, that's not necessarily good advice.
Pit 3 times a day, and your dentist will thank you.
And then we'd be brush your teeth 3 times a day and floss as well.
Shut up! Ruining my gimmick.
Your gimmick of corrupting the children?
Correct.
Mag is still under pressure from Dan French. This is a key battle here because, of course, these two teams are currently 2nd and 3rd in the team's championship. And it's been a lot of misfortune, actually, for the WRT team, which is the Audi crew. Magus, of course, DNFing at Silverstone. And Paul Riccobeni's entire season has just been, outside of the last round at Zandvoort, has been kind of a disaster. And it has really limited this team. And no Riccobeni today, but Oscar Tan and Michael Magus are doing a good job of holding up their end of the bargain, running in 5th and 6th place.
I think what we should do here on commentary is really do our best to try and bully this young Michael Magus kid into becoming a better racer, much as we have done for Max Simmons.
Indeed.
What a loser! What a sorry, what?
I'm all down for the bullying of the number 30 car.
bully.
Currently running 2nd in the Silver Championship overall behind Wayne Hutchison, and with Wayne currently absent in this race, it looks like he should be able to take the lead. Or if not him, then somebody else, depending on how this all works out. Let's see here. Oscar Tan currently leads. That's 10 points for Tan. 8 points for Magus. No, Magus would take the lead as it stands.
I've been reasonably informed that the Wayne in Spain falls mainly on the plane. Can you confirm?
I can confirm.
Excellent.
Shout out to Wayne. He's in my neck of the woods right now. So, like, you know, dude, give me a call.
Yeah,
We'll
nice.
meet up for a beer or something.
Right over there in car wash oil. At the car wash. Woo, woo, woo. That's Staying Alive. That's a totally different
Pretty sure
song
there's
from-
also that bit in the car wash too.
I don't think so. You might be right. It's been a while since I heard that song.
Yeah, I've not heard that song. And
the only thing anybody really remembers
is the At the Car Wash.
At the car wash.
You're
At the car
you're not
wash.
wrong at that. You're not wrong about that part.
Michael, can you also confirm that It's Raining Men and Let the Bodies Hit the Floor are actually the same song?
Pretty damn similar.
That's what I thought.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
It's raining men, let the bodies hit the floor. I'll have to work that one. Somebody
to
could
workshop
probably somebody more musical than I.
I think it's probably been done. I feel like that is a parody, just kind of.
Or just do a mashup.
Mash it,
Somebody
yeah,
just put the lyrics, the singing over the other beat.
Mhm.
This sounds like a good mashup. Hallelujah, let the bodies hit the floor.
Did watch the Formula One race last night, so I'm up to date on all the F1 action, which is good. Double podium for Mercedes. Go.
This is the,
And Ferrari
that
fucking up
Mexican
hard.
guy named Czechoslovakia.
No. Dan French in the pit lane.
I'm pretty sure there's a Mexican guy named Czechoslovakia.
There's Checo Perez.
Oh.
Sergio Perez. King of the random podium.
Why do they call it? Well, okay, what does Checo mean?
I don't
If his
know.
name's fucking Sergio.
Let's see. Checo in Spanish.
Español de Checo. Hey, Google. Go fuck yourself.
It does mean Czech, according to Google Translate, so...
I told you, he's Czechanese.
Not really sure what the deal with that is. I've never really dug into the whole background of his
Maybe we should ask Avi.
That would seem the safest option. I mean, he is Sergio Perez's #1 fan.
No, I'm #1. Because I'm very pretty.
Oh, that's good to know.
That just trumps all other things.
I understand. Max Simmons still being given a hard time by Nissan's Marcel Letelier. So Honda versus Nissan. Not exactly marks that have had a great amount of success within the GT racing world. And how happy are you on this fine day of Vince McMahon no longer being chairman of WWE?
He's still going to be puppeting things for... okay, so is Vince McMahon going to be the hidden hand still?
I suspect...
Or is Stephanie just going to, no?
I suspect the answer is no, because I think Steph, Nick Khan, and Triple H don't really play that game. Like, his stooges didn't really pick up the roles required.
Yeah, that's fair.
And a lot of the theories are that probably his stooges are going to get house cleaned a little bit.
I like that with a flamethrower. I saw that Triple H is now head of creative. So I mean,
talent relations.
Hey, can we have NXT on live TV? I might start watching fucking WWE again for the first time in a decade.
Indeed. He did mostly good things with NXT. I mean, there were a couple of things that sucked. But...
All right, so Triple H is now in charge of creative. Over under 1.5 years before Gargano or Ciampa, or did one of those guys left? Didn't
I think they're both still there.
Are they? I thought one of them left. I thought Ciampa left.
Let's look that up while we watch a little bit of the action at the front of the pack.
I was about to say, over under how quick before one of those guys is world champion and has an actual run. Probably.
No, Ciampa's on the Raw brand right now.
All right.
Currently a heel.
Yeah. Or over under 2.5 years, the Gargano and Ciampa tag it back up.
Oh, interesting. Gargano's wife actually has a Wikipedia page.
Isn't that Candice LeRae?
That's Gargano's wife, not Ciampa's wife.
Oh, sorry, I misheard.
Ciampa is married to Jesse Ward, a former professional wrestler but American TV producer. And I think more famous for the latter rather than the former.
More than likely. Joke's on you, though. Actually, she was Manto.
There are pictures of her from as far back as 2007 consulting with Vince Russo.
Ooh, that must have been a not great room to be in.
She's been around for a while.
Wow, I know what you're implying there.
I am not implying anything by that. Sure. The only thing I'm implying is what I literally just said. She's been in the business for a while.
Oh, I heard the extra O and U and the around. I understand what you put down.
Max Simmons continuing to lead from Marcel Letelier. Max is having the perfect season, of course. You think he's going to keep it up today, Bart?
I believe he will probably go into the pits and crash and then be disqualified for life.
A couple of pit stops to cycle through. French, Willis, Sapolsky, and now Costantini in the pit lane.
If you power slide perfectly, can you kill every pit attendant in one go?
Well, you go right through the pit attendants in this game, so no.
Whoa! That sounds lame. What, like it's human bowling, and you just skid right there. Thump, 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 thump.
Well, that is not the case.
I would like it to be. Can we have your boys that make the sim racing games also do a remake of Carmageddon? And we could have simulated Carmageddon all day, every day.
That would be potentially interesting.
And then we can do the pit lane.
Simmons continues to lead there. Again, 2 cars that are not BOP'd all that well. The Honda NSX Evo, driven by Max Simmons, and the Nissan GTR, driven by Marcel Letelier. But they're up front. They're doing their thing today. They've had a strong season, both of them so far, and I have no doubt that will continue at the moment. Oscar Tan in the pit lane. So the first of the top 5 to pit is Oscar Tan.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
As we get the halfway sounding from the... I guess that's technically the race engineer for like all the cars. They all have the same voice, which is a little bit problematic.
I think they should randomize the accents.
I would.
You don't know if you're getting in. It could be South African, could be from Norfolk, could be from other Norfolk,
Suffolk
and Eastwick and Westwick. It's a lot of fuckers.
I do wish there was a couple of options. They have options with the crew chief application where you can pick different things. I picked the female voice just because it stands out the most of the bunch.
Fair enough. I would select an accent that isn't mine because then I would pay attention.
Oh, they're all
to
British
it.
accents, so it's just different British voice actors basically, and you pick a name and you get that voice in your ear for the race.
Oh, I want one from South Africa.
You get a race engineer and a spotter. I picked the female spotter because it sounds the most different from the race engineer. And the race engineer you don't get to pick actually. It's just everyone gets the same one.
We should get your boy the Stewart to record one in his wild ass accent.
That'd be fun.
Is he from New York? Is he from Binghamton? No one knows.
It's from everywhere at once. Alexander and Magus in the pit lane. And Reader in the pit lane, actually, so a couple of cars pitting at the same time. Not going to go for the overcut or undercut. The Hondas are going long again, as well as Waz and Letelier. Not super long, we're just a little bit over halfway through.
Was that all the time the plan?
I don't think Waz really has a plan.
Do I look like a guy with a plan?
I look like a guy with a plan. I'm just a guy trying to catch a car. I don't know what I'll do with it when I get it. Speaking of Tom Waz, there he is.
I say, Thomas.
I always thought that Tim Williams actually should have done a Joker bit when he wins fights and does the post-fight interviews, because he was the dude with like all the scars from his car accident as a kid.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, you're like the one guy who can actually probably pull off this whole Joker thing. Like, I don't know why you don't lean into that.
That is true. Whoa, what if he fought...
Did the fight go...
Paul Craig. We could have a face-off of makeup proportions.
So did everything go to plan today, Tim? Do I look like a guy who has a plan? Letelier in the pits, going for the undercut against Max Simmons. And I mean, let's be honest, we almost always see the guy go for the undercut against Max Simmons, because Max Simmons super long pit stop.
Your boy Simmons goes long.
See if anyone's made up some ground through the pit stopping process, but everyone's more or less still in the same order that they came into the pits in. So, not a lot going on in that
Correct.
regard. Letelier should come out in 4th place. Maybe even 3rd place. There is a pretty large gap between Zach Martin and Thomas Wallace. It's Dan French.
17th place.
They were battling before the pit stop, and they continue to battle after the pit stop. Michael Magus and Dan French. French went with the undercut strategy, and we'll see if it works out. But to be honest, the undercut strategy has kind of failed, because the idea of the undercut, quick little strategy time here with you boy. The idea of the undercut, of course, would be that he would pit earlier, get some good fast laps while Magus was still out there, and come out and when Magus pits, he would overtake him in the pits, and that has not happened. Now, does that mean that he is going to finish behind Magus? Absolutely not. The battle is still on, but strategically speaking, it has not worked out. Aaron Alexander chasing down Tom Watts. And Tom was with a big gold slide off at the forward curve.
Yeah.
Race leader Max Simmons is in, so it'll be Zach Martin and Tom. Oh, and Zach Martin's in. So Tom Waz is your official king of the long runners. Into the Dunlop curve we go. Or the Dunlop hairpin, I should say.
You Dunlopped it off.
And through the tricky but, relatively simple in theory, Schumacher S's. It's nice to see Michael Schumacher's kid finally start scoring some points in Formula One. So he's a little bit less of a joke.
That is always a positive.
Still has not achieved as much as you would like to see, but I think it is coming together. I think he gets treated a little bit harshly though, because the kid is effectively a rookie in F1 this season. He was in F1 last season, but the car was absolutely garbage. Like it was like one of those things. Like, all right, here's everything you learned last season. Throw it all out. It's all useless now. You have an actual car now.
Well, I think everybody's going to be on his case unless he wins like 9
pretty
world
much.
championships in a
Yeah,
row.
it's one of those things. Like, the name is both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing in the sense that it probably opened doors on the way up that would not have necessarily been open at the time. But it also comes with ridiculous expectations. He can ask his uncle Ralph about that, basically, because like there are a lot of people that you talked about in F1. They're like, Ralph Schumacher was terrible. It's like Ralph Schumacher got 27 career podiums, a bunch of wins, and largely beat up a really good swath of teammates. But because of his last name, we think he sucked.
If you were a professional golfer, you'd be one of the most successful of all time.
And
speaking of professional golf, have you heard about the Saudi-funded alternate professional golf?
Yeah.
Apparently, like, just everybody gets paid. Doesn't matter where you place.
Yep.
That is wild.
It is wild. Although it continues to sort of fund a sports propaganda machine for Saudi Arabia.
Well, I mean, what we could do is, we could enter ourselves and then still get paid because we would place. We'd place last, but I mean, we would place.
We would place several strokes off of the lead, but yeah.
Getting paid.
Michael Magus needs to make that car wide as Dan French chases him.
Well, they just need to go faster then, because I mean the centrifugal force.
French going down the
flatten out
inside
the
into turn 1. Let's see if he can get the job done here. It's pretty deep down inside there, but looks like Magnus is going to hang on.
But will he though?
Well, for the time being, yes.
Very nice.
They're catching up to the still yet to pit Tom Was, who really might want to think about that pit stop right now, because there's only like, what, 5-6 laps left in this race. Like, you want to make use of those new tires. And going this long, not really going to do that.
No pits. Onward to victory.
Simmons still under pressure from Marcel Letelier. The gap is about 0.7 of a second. You can see it visually on the screen there. There is only one tighter battle through the field, although Zach Martin is all over the back of Aaron Alexander. The overcut working out for Zach Martin. Ends up ahead of Aaron, and with fresher tires. Not that the tires are a huge deal in a 40-minute race. This is not exactly this is not a tire management race, but at the same time, you know, there is still that little bit of freshness, that little bit of advantage, and someone employing a strategy akin to what Tom Was is doing is kind of really just not really taking advantage of the fact that you get 2 sets of tires for the race.
I missed the details. Is there a mandatory pit window in this?
There is no pit window, but there is a mandatory pit stop.
Okay. Fair enough.
You could pit on the second to last lap and do it then.
Fair enough. It's gonna go with the ultra softs on the very last lap.
Oh, don't remind me of the ultra soft stuff. There was a time when Formula One had they still have like 7 different compounds or something. But now they just call them, they just bring 3 to each race, and so it's like, here's the soft, here's the medium, here's the hard. Nice and simple. Before it was like all 7 had different names, like this is the super soft, this is the ultra soft, this is the mega soft. Like, this is retarded.
Dang.
This is ridiculous.
This is literally just toothpaste in spherical format.
Might as well be, because I mean, the Formula One tires have like high tire drag. On board with Max Simmons at his trademark lime green suit.
You think he's non-stop checking on the gin and buckles? I mean, soda. Wait, what?
Gin and juice.
Sipping on gin and juice, laid back.
Was is falling back through the field. I don't know if that means he's in the pit lane or if they've just gotten past him. He's not in the pit lane because we can see the track map there, and there is nobody in the pit lane. So he's just fallen behind Magus and French the old-fashioned way. By overtakes. As the Lexus is there. Connor Costantini has suffered some damage and losing a spot to Mark Sobalski, who... kind of interestingly enough, Sobalski had that exact same damage in the early part of the race after his contact on lap 1, has fixed the car, and is now overtaking Costantini, who has suffered almost identical damage.
Good old TSN's Mark Sobalski.
He's got the TSN turning point.
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
And Was is in to serve his pit stop with about 7 minutes to go. I'm trying to remember, did they have Sobalski in Letterkenny?
I don't know. I'm about 3 seasons behind on Letterkenny.
They did have either On-Ride or O'Toole. I always forget which one is which.
I'm pretty sure they had both.
They did have both in Letterkenny, but only one's been in Shoresy so far.
Ah, there you go. Which I still haven't watched, but I'm going to.
I think it was On-Ride. They had Jay On-Ride and they had Tespanol in Letterkenny. Or not Letterkenny, Shoresy. They were also in Letterkenny along with They had Onright, O'Toole, Kate Burness, and Bob McKenzie, of course.
Oh, right. I forgot they had like the whole crew for that one tournament
Indeed.
episode.
How am I supposed to trust the guy who was wheeling his best friends to bombs in Letterkenny? They were not my friends, and their bombs were wheeling me. Tellier's still looking for that, I believe, first ESR victory. He is a Nissan specialist who has done some great things with that Godzilla. Says that he was really confident coming into this race at Nürburgring, that this was one of the best tracks on the calendar for that Nissan. And I'm inclined to believe him, because, of course, he's done very well here. And Anthony Willis, who's running in 8th place, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but he qualified P4 in that same car. And unfortunately got caught up in the first lap shenanigans, and has been limited to an 8th place run, but still a very quality run for the bronze driver. And, of course, you can see where Letelier is fighting for the race win.
Letelier, that sounds Dutch.
Might be.
He said blatantly about the French.
He's Chilean.
Chilean? That sounds fair. Like the sea bass?
It's one half of Team Chile with Mauricio Delgado.
Dang. That sounds muy picante.
He's the reserved one. Mostly because anyone teaming with Mauricio Delgado is the reserved one.
That is fair. He is exuberant and enjoyable.
Indeed. I think we would literally have to have you partner with Mauricio to have Mauricio not be to not have the teammate be the reserve.
Probably. But I am prone to angry outbursts, not encouraging outbursts.
I think it's a different kind of exuberance, but it's exuberant.
Yeah.
Anthony,
I had an angry outburst today. We went out, my boy Chris and his son and I went out shooting. And I got some new speed loader tubes for the 22. I'm not going to try and explain it, but just understand that I'm
Dan French off the track and Anthony Willis up the inside of the Coca-Cola curve. That is 7th place for the bronze running Nissan driver. Continue.
So these things are literally just like plastic tubes with little rubber ends on them, so you can put shells. You can put 22 cartridges down these tubes.
Gotcha.
And then just like dump them down the magazine of the 22 rifle. And I should not have trusted a child with these things. He's actually not a child anymore. He is a teenager.
Arguably worse. Arguably worse.
Arguably worse. And he left a lot of stuff lying around, and here I am like trying to pick up after him, finding these like rubber ends to these tubes and putting them back on the tubes because I don't want them to get lost. And then I get right near done the thing, and I got one little rubber end and I got no tube. I'm like, okay, where's the biggest part of this shenanigans? Hey kid. And he has a quick look around and finds it underneath the shooting bench, and he just knocked it off and stomped it to death. And I was angry for about 19 seconds and gave him. I was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "How did that happen?" I'm like, "You tell me." And his dad was kind of mortified. Which reminds me, I should inform Chris that I'm not actually that mad. It's fine. There were 10 of them in the package, and now I'm down to 9. It's not that big a deal.
But it's still, still rude. You take care of other people's stuff.
Yeah. I made the kid feel bad at the moment, which is my job as not the parent.
Indeed.
It's my job at that point to reinforce negative feelings and, do better next time. The do better next time is Dad's job.
We're entering probably the last lap here, and we got some good battles going on here. Magus leads this 4-car train with Anthony Willis Dan French and Jeremy Reeder. They could finish in any order at this point, really. They're that close together. Letelier is still within striking distance, but I don't really know if 0.7 of a second is really capable without a Max Simmons mistake up at the front. So it looks like Simmons might take home his 4th consecutive win here. Zach Martin looks like he's got the podium kind of sewn up. Actually, is quite a gap, actually. Yeah, 7.9 seconds back to Aaron Alexander. Alexander's in a pretty safe spot in 4th place. He's well ahead of Oscar Tan. So yeah, the interest is really this 7th, 8th, 9th, and or this 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th battle here you have on your screen right now. As French runs a little bit wide, and pressure is on from Jeremy Reeder in the Mercedes. Down the inside of the Dunlop hairpin.
Right,
Got it.
the leader is on the final lap. Give it a
Oh, there will be one more lap after this. Actually, we just got confirmation that the leader has just started the final lap. So Dan French has not had the greatest day here today. Relegated late here by Willis and now Reeder. He'll be looking at 9th place here for the championship contender. And that championship contention is it's dwindling quite quickly, and it's not his fault. It's the fact that nobody seems to be able to stop Max Simmons, who's actually just been like, hey guys, I just pulled out 0.6 of a second one lap.
You know, it'd be even better if you had 10/6 of a second left.
That's true. Mag is still hanging on in 6th place. This actually will be the worst finish Magus has had. He's been 5th at Spa and Zandvoort so far. Had the DNF at Silverstone, and now is looking at a 6th place here at Nürburgring. I believe we're off to Italy for the next round of this series. I want to say Imola or Monza. Confirm that once the race is done here. Mag is still hanging on. Anthony Willis with a hell of a debut. Tip of the cap to him.
Well done, Wilbur.
7th place is not going to look spectacular, but for a man who was knocked to the back of the pack at the start, he's done his thing. They are catching up to Oscar Tan, but Tan is still 3 seconds ahead. I don't think we'll see anything on that end, as Max Simmons indeed wins the race, having spread it out by even more than a second over those last 2 laps. He ends up finishing 1.7 ahead of Letelier. Makes me wonder if Letelier maybe ran a little bit on the margins of fuel, if he had to turn the engine down a bit there in the late stages. Zach Martin on the podium in 3rd place. Aaron Alexander will probably be 4th place. And Reeder is putting the pressure on the young man, Willis. Reeder's taking Willis under his wing a little bit and helping him out. So it'll be interesting to see long term if Willis can have more days like this, where he's actually ahead of some of the big guns in this grid. Tan crosses the line in 5th place. Magus will hang on against Anthony Willis, who finishes in 7th. Jeremy Reeder in 8th. And I don't know what was up with Dan French there at the end. He actually fell well off the back of that. And will finish up in 9th position ahead of Mark Sabalski, Connor Costantini, and Tom Waz. As I apply the scoring here, and we'll go through the standings and talk about the next round.
Well, I hear that the next round is going to be the Dakar Rally.
It will be at Imola. Everybody loves Imola. We actually have the doubleheader in Italy. We got Imola and Monza, and then Barcelona to finish up the season. So, as expected, given that he's won all 4 races, Max Simmons is at the top of the standings. 4 wins in 4 starts. 180 points to his name. Pretty hard to see the championship going any other way. He is up 64 points over Marcel Letelier, who was 2nd here today and 2nd in the championship. Aaron Alexander and Dan French are tied on 102 points. Jeremy Reeder on 70, and Mark Sabalski on 70. In the Teams Championship, the Overclocked Racing crew is on 228 ahead of 175 for the WRT crew. 905 is down at 114 and 110 for Lex Us Pass. And in the Silver Cup, Michael Magus has a 4-point lead over Jeremy Reeder and Oscar Tan. And it's only 7 points over Wayne Hutchison and Connor Costantini. So excellent battle going on there still. And in the bronze category, it is Mark Sabalski leading with 38 points. That is 2 off a perfect score. Anthony Willis is on 10, 8 for Robert Arzumi, and 6 for Tom Waz. So it will be off to Imola and Monza in the lovely country of speed, Italy. And Byron, do you have any final thoughts?
You ready for the newspaper headline of the week?
Go ahead.
How a cattle sting operation snared Loving County judge Skeet Jones.
Intriguing.
Indeed.